Hello. Oh, look, I knocked it over. Sandy from Doux Designs. How are you guys? I'm so excited. Okay, I almost missed Christmas in July. How could that possibly be? I don't know. So I've decided to pull one of the images from our digital image stock, and we have one just called Moose, but I really call it my Christmas. He has all these lights twisted up in his antlers, and I think that's super fun. Also in the set is a regular moose without antlers, and then another moose as well. And then there are some ornaments, and you can make them whatever size that you want, but I chose to make them kind of small so I can put them around my little moose when we get the whole scene playing out. So first we have to color these guys, and then we'll be able to move on from there. So if you're popping in, hey Cheryl, this is a digital image. It is already set up like this for you with the lights. You can also get it without, it also comes in the same set without the lights, and all the ornaments are included. And then the moose, another moose, just regular moose, is also included. Huh?
Beth said hi.
Hi, Beth. So I wanted, before we got busy, because I'm about to get real busy doing some coloring. You see all my pretty colors here on my desk. So I know before I left you guys were on and we talked about this lid for my bling. So when I left, I used two little hair ties that look like this. And I placed one of them like this. These are regular hair ties. And the other one I placed like this, and I threw this in my bag. Shuffled it all around. And then when I got home, I opened it up. And everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. So I'm super happy to say that this will now be available in the shop on August 2nd with our new release, so that you can have a topper to take your bling trays with you as well. I was so happy that it worked great. And you can take just one with the lid, or you can take all three of them. They're sold one at a time or a bundle of three. So all you have to do is just put some little hair ties or ribbon or whatever it is you want to hold it together. And I threw it around my bag and I didn't have any problems. So it was great. And I was so happy. I couldn't wait to share with you guys. So that will be in the release on Saturday, and we'll do a live on Friday to show you everything. And then if we have a lot of people on the live that get as excited as I am, we might open the shop a little early. So still under discussion, but so there'll be a live on Friday as well. We'll still have one on Thursday where we color, but Friday we'll show you all the new stuff, and there is a lot of it. So tonight we're going to use glossy accents. I know we talked about that before, and we're going to oxide just a little for some snow-ish look, and we're going to die cut, and we're going to color. We got so much stuff to do. So no more delay. We're going to go ahead and roll right into it. I'm going to put these three aside for now, but you can make these as big as you want. They could be, you could make them small and then a big one and make those as your card as well. So much versatility with this. Well, I don't think this moose needs my purple hair. So let's get started on getting him colored up. I'm really excited I just love this little guy. He's one of my favorites that we did. So I decided to grab a little bit of red, a little bit of green, a pink for his ears, and then the whole range of E40s. So E40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 47, and 49. I'm also going to throw in E51. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. E51. So we're going to have multiple, we're going to have mostly the same colors. We're just going to mix them up a little differently as we go along so that we have lots of different shades within him. I love this little guy too. He makes me so happy. Hey, Beth. Hey, did you guys see? Oh my gosh, I can't help myself. I have to tell you. Did you guys see that Sassy Club is going to have the Cat in the Hat, and it has thing 1 and thing 2 on it? Oh my gosh. All I did was think about you guys. I couldn't help myself. Okay, when I do this guy, I like to do his little antlers first. So I'm going to start his antlers with E43. And this is so you can see which one I'm on. Okay, so I'm going to start with the antlers. The lines all throughout are just the cord from the lights, so we don't really have to worry about that. We can just color right over that, and we don't even have to worry about that. So I just went under the bottom since it'll be a little shadowy there, and then anywhere where it dips in, I'm just going to put a bit of shadow there, kind of in a triangle look, so it looks like you can see all of that shadow. Yes. You guys need that. I cannot wait to get it. You know I'm going to get it and color it for you guys. Yes. I just was so excited when I saw it. So I'm really excited about our release this Saturday. I know that you guys are going to find it super cool. It is, you know, my images are never really specifically like what other people do, even if they end up being the same idea. Like my aliens don't look anything like the other aliens on the market. I mean, you know, my style is just a little different. So I am very excited about this release. So you Beths need that. I know, right? So cute. All right, so I'm going to continue now with E51. This is why I wanted the 51. I just wanted to put a little bit of a different tone in the antlers than I have in the rest of the moose. So 51 will only be used on these antlers up here. So I'm just extending from where I put that original color. And now that I have all you guys, I cannot wait to tell you guys about the Craft Roulette event. Oh my goodness. It's called Paper Ganza. It was so much fun. I mean, I don't know that I've gone to other retreats where I've had that much fun. It was very low-key. There wasn't, you know, you weren't stressed out. We did card making, which I can't wait to show you guys. I, of course, bought the dies and all the things so that I could show you. I wasn't ready to do it tonight yet because I have some things I want to use with it that I don't have available at the moment. But there's that, and then, so we did have classes, but then we also had like a murder mystery theater dinner, and that was so fun. And somehow, I don't know how, but I randomly got selected to be in it. So that was very interesting, being that I had never been to one of those before. So that was fun. I'm hoping that they post the video so I can watch it, but it was a lot of fun. E41 is next. And I'm just going to go a little bit more around, and then I'm going to go over the areas where I put that darkest color to kind of pull that deep color back out. And Anyway, I met so many people that I see online in the chatterbox and such. And I met so many new people that I kind of knew. I felt like I already knew them, even though I had never seen them in person. So it was really neat. And I also got to see, you know, our friend Jen Pargross was there. And there were quite a few people there. I got to see Amanda Stevens from Pear Blossom Press and Karen Burniston. It was just a lot of fun. And I got to see Tanisa from Trinity Stamps and Mary and Mr. Producer and just all the people. It was really fun. So if they have it again, I'm going to need some of y'all to go with me because we could just tear it up. It'd be so much fun. I would definitely do it again. Highly recommended. Okay, so now we have these moose antlers. Oh, Peggy! Oh, yeah, you got to have sound. Peggy was there. She was at the event. So I saw her, got to meet her. That was amazing. I'm going to move my E51 out of the way now so I don't pick it up by mistake because I do not want to make that mistake. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put the little bit of pink in his ears for now because I'm going to want to tone that down just a little bit as we go along. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now. That is a lot of names, and I wasn't even close to the amount of people that I met there. It was so much fun. Every time you turn it, somebody would call your name and you'd turn around and look everywhere and then you'd be like, oh my gosh, I know you. That was pretty fun. So, yeah, definitely one to think about in the future. Okay, now we're going to go all the way to E49. And everybody was so friendly. It was so much fun to talk to everybody. And I had all the people sitting at my tables. There were 8 of us. All 7 of them I never met before. I didn't know them, never met them. I have the shaker card bits in my cart. Could you show me the thickness of them? Yes. Which ones? Or anyone? Which, yeah, I sure can. I mean, we've used them on the live, so I know that they're fine on fitting in the shaker cards. But I can definitely, I'm trying to pull one up right now that I just have over here in my stashola. So these, there some you're worried about in particular? This one is the little flowers, which are about the same size as the little circles that are in some of them.
I mean, all of them are going to be...
The honeycomb.
Well, it should all be under 2 millimeters.
See, this is how thick I cut the little pieces. No, it's okay. No problem.
So it's about 1.5 millimeters.
See, and then this is the same size as the little circles. They look bigger than they are in the pictures, but they're still pretty tiny. So that's some of them. If you want to see the honeycomb, I'll have Dale pull it and he'll show it to you in just a minute. So, okay, so we're going to keep going while Dale pulls that for me. I have E49 and I'm going to start with that in on the ears. So starting right here. If you ever leave your marker sitting there for a few minutes and you come back to it and it feels like it's sticky when you first touched your paper with it, go ahead and wipe it off on here and get that ink flowing again and you shouldn't have any problems.
Does she mean wild honey?
Yes, wild honey. I like them to have a little bit thicker than a normal shaker card. Just because, hey Ava, there's one of my pod mates. I was just talking about how much fun we had. I like them to be a little thicker so you can use them on other items, but none of these are any bigger than anybody else sells. So here's the little sunflowers. It's pretty thin. All of these items are pretty small, and there's the flowers. They're pretty small. Is that good? Gives you all the little pieces. They're all pretty tiny. They'll look really cute, and you get so much you can use it like a bunch of times. But anyway, that's the wild honey she was asking about in case anyone else is interested. There's a lot in there. There'll be some new ones, new shaker bits too on Saturday. Okay. And now I'm going to put a little bit here on his face. So for those of you who joined just a few minutes later, this is a digital image by Doux Designs. And I just printed it out the size I wanted for my A2 card. But you can definitely size them up. They are big enough to size up. No worries at all. So I'm just putting a little bit of this in here, but mostly we're going to make it on the hooves and the feet because I want them to be darker than the rest of him. But these little areas right here that are tucked in would be pretty dark as well. Ava and I had so much fun. We are for sure doing that again. She was my pod. She was right next to me. She was my buddy. We were together like we conjoined twins. Is that what it was? Or we dated conjoined twins. I can't remember. Something from the Murder Mystery Theater. It's funny. We were both in it. Okay. So there we go. We have all of it. Babison. That's right. Madison and Barbara Babison. That's what we were known for. That was so fun. I wish I could have had that recorded. I would have loved to have watched that again. Okay. So maybe we'll start with the little hooves. I want them to stay kind of dark. So I'm going to do them very dark along the bottom, but I'm going to leave some of the top open just so the arms don't blend in with the rest of the body. You know, I don't want that to be the conception, you know. And then for the bottom hooves, I'm just going to go up each side, up a little further on the inside than the outside. And then we'll work with the next color for the rest of that. He's a little bit challenging when you get to the corners if you don't have him set on a sticky mat, which I should, but I don't. All right, and now E47 is going to be next. E47. All right, so we're going to blend out. But before I do that, I'm going to work on the hooves first. So I want these to finish these off with this E47. I like 49 because it's so dark. But we're going to blend out the whole rest of the hooves with the 47. So I want to keep them pretty dark. But you'll notice they'll be a little bit lighter on the top, which is where the light would hit them anyway. So that works perfectly well. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over it, and then I'm going to leave that little bitty spot right there for some highlight. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. This little guy is super easy to color. You can do him however you want. I've colored him 5 or 6 times, and usually he comes out different every time. I've used lots of different colors on him, so definitely get it and play with it. I almost did him in red and green, but I changed my mind at the last minute. and decided to just roll with the natural colors once I picked the papers and stuff that I wanted to do. So I'm just going to extend from where I put those darkest color. Not all the way, because I have quite a few colors we can still work with. But we want to keep those areas pretty dark right up there, blending out from where the darkest color is. And then I'm leaving this part right here alone and the top of his face just for right now. It's like the little fur on him. But I'm going to start working on this inside part right here, because even though it could be the same color as this, it's not going to be tonight. You know, because when you're the colorist, you get to pick. You get to choose what you want to do. That's almost the funnest part about coloring, is that you can't go wrong because you get to decide. Each person who does it gets to decide what they want. Nothing's better than that. Don't you like saying what you want? Now his little ears, so just extending a little bit further from where I put that darkest color, just to get that in there for now. Super cute. I think I might put a little bit under here just because I want to show a bit of shadow here. And I feel like if I wait for the next one, it's just going to be so light. And I want that shadow color under his neck. Next I have E44. Hey, Mom. Hope all is well. E44. So this is the one that we're going to finish off his hooves. So I'm just going to go ahead and color those in. And I'm only going to do right around where the meet-up point is, because I want that to stay just a little bit lighter right up there in the center. So I don't want to blend too much, because it will blend all into almost one complete color. So you want to be careful if you want to use this one as your highlight. Just work around the outside where the meet-up point is. And then you should get an even, smooth color there, and it should blend really well. We have a little bit of a spot, but we'll just come in with the next color and lighten it up a little bit, and it will be okay. So now I'm going to extend down here. I do not want to finish this one off yet, so I'm going to leave another spot. I'm going to leave a little white spot there for my next color. I like to be able to see all the dimensions of color. This one is definitely doing the around the outside though, because once I pass this E44, the colors get significantly lighter, and I want you to be able to see that outside area. I like these E40 colors, but they make a big jump. E49, it's a big jump to E44, and from E44 to E42, it's a big jump. So you have to kind of get used to that and work with it. And you can make it do what you want it to do. If you use the lighter colors, it almost looks like you colored something khaki. So it's a nice color. He's so stinking cute. I really like him. I really, really do. Oh, really? Dad's leaving on Friday, huh? Well, better stay safe. My parents drive to Pennsylvania from Texas. That's a really long drive. So blending out there. Got a little bit above the line, but we can use the colorless blender to push that back in. So I'm not too worried about that. Extending out and then around the outside just to make sure we got that, you know, covered. And then I'm going to start with this inside his ear. So just along the bottom of it. I'm not blending that pink out just yet. Still need to get a little bit lighter for that. But since we started this part right here, we definitely have to do a little bit of extending out from there so we don't get anything, you know, with too dark and you can't blend. And now what I'm going to do is start doing a little bit of a fur look. So coming from this side, I'm just going to brush stroke in, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. This one we won't blend very much because we're going to want to see those brush stroke lines. This guy is in the winter, so his fur is heavy and he's going to stay pretty dark. It is hot out. I definitely agree with that. I can't believe it's been hot in Pennsylvania though. Eek! They don't have air conditioning up there. Now I'm going to put just a little bit along this area right here. Just a little bit. Not too much. And then we'll go from there. So the next one is E43. He's starting to come along, looking very nice. Looking a little suave in his nice little casual moment here. E43, we're going to finish off the feet. See how much lighter that is and how it doesn't look like it blends very well. It's much, much lighter. So you kind of have to work that one a little, those colors a little bit. The trick to it is work right where they meet up. Like right in that area where they meet up. If you go all the way up to where the darkest part is, you're going to wash out that deep shadow color that you put in there purposely. So watch this one all in one stroke. So just work this line a little bit to smooth that out. Just like that. Then give the marker a second for it to, you know, spread and it'll be good. So that's what I meant by the colors vary so much in this next. This E43 changes so much from the E44. So we're blending this out. The lighter colors will go in the face and in the hair under his chin, on his chest. So we're just blending this out. There we go. That one's perfect. We're going to blend down on his arms, but we're going to leave a small space for the next color because we're going to leave a little bit of highlight on the front of his arms. I'm going to have a whole snowy scene and everything tonight. It's going to be fun. I already have my plan, a plan-ski going. Okay. So we left a little bit on the paws, and now we're going to go a little bit in here. But when you watch, I'm only trying to touch in the in-between spots where I didn't have any color. Not spending much time there. I don't want to blend it out just yet. So just touching in those areas where they're white. Just like that. So that already looks really cute like that, but if we need to, we'll blend just a teeny bit more than that. Now I'm going to work on his little face right here, but I want this to be quite a bit lighter, so I'm just going to blend this in on the top area for now. Just like this. But just around that top part of his moose face. Now we're going to work on those ears. I'm going to go all the way once. And then you can see that lines still. Maybe seeing snow will cool you off. Yeah. I mean, it is a Christmas card, so it is going to have a bit of snow. I'm giving you the little Christmas feel. So see how that smoothed that out for you? I just do one sweep across. And then I work on these small areas where you can see the transition spot. And I work on blending that out just a little bit. Don't do it too much or you'll wash out the color. And then just give it a second or two and it will finish off the rest of that all by itself. I'm going to put a little bit of this color right here, and the rest we'll do with a lighter color. So now on the head, just extend down a little bit more from where you stopped before, a little bit up here, and we'll blend out with a lighter color in a little bit. So that was E43. A blended margarita would cool me off. It sure would. It'd cool me off and bring me a migraine. I can't do tequila. I gotta do something else. E42 is next. So I'm gonna just finish this blend off right here. And I'm just gonna work again in that transitional area, but not a lot. Otherwise I'm gonna blend this out too much. Because this marker has a lot more colorless blender in it. Let's see. If you get to the point, like that one blended really well. This one has a little bit of lines here. But if you start to see that, don't keep blending. Just bring back the previous color, which is E43. Touch the tip with E42. And then go back over this area one more time. And it will add a little more of that depth color back in. And it'll give you that smooth look that you want. So see how that fixed it for me? So just don't be afraid to do the tip to tip. Don't keep trying to blend it together if it's not working, because you'll wash out all your color and have to start over. You will not be happy with that idea. Now that I did that, I'm just going to wipe off my marker on here to make sure I don't have any more of that E43 on there. It does not hurt your markers to mix them. As long as you always touch the darker color with the lighter color. That is the key. Okay, I'm going to work on this face here a little bit more now. Just going around the bottom and extending out a little bit. I'm going to come down a little bit more here. I'm going to go out from here. And we're going to leave most of that inside part for a lighter color. So we're not going to do anything with that just yet. I am going to touch up here. Now what's going to happen if I were to say, oh, I want to use the next color on the forehead? What would happen? It would wash all our dark color out and we would be so unhappy. So we can't use anything lighter than what we're using right now. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you. So just be careful. Know that if you see the ink moving around like it's running scared, stop and go back to a darker color. All right, let's try E41, but I think I'm going to go to the E50, even though I said I wasn't going to use that on anything else. I think I am. So this is E41, and I'm just blending out from where I was before. In this case, I want to keep this part of his face a little bit lighter, so I'm okay with going with the lighter colors because it is going to wash this color out a bit and make it a bit lighter. I kind of want that. So I'm okay with playing around with the lighter colors. He's looking good. I'm really happy with him. So on this area, I do want to have a little bit of this color in. So I'm just going to randomly do a back and forth for a second. I'm going to blend a little more over in these corners. And then I'm just going to wait. I missed the Paper Ganza updates. I'll watch the replay. Yes, I talked about it earlier. It was so much fun. E40 goes right here. I haven't gathered all the pictures together, but I will post some pictures soon. I just haven't had time to get them all organized. What's that? Show her the cover. Oh, Yes, she missed the cover too. Yes, I will show that again here in just a little bit. E40, I'm going to do the same thing, go across this area. I don't want to, are you all right?
Yep.
Okay. Don't want to wash out those lines. It's so amazing. And I do want to go back in with my E43, I think it was. Yeah. And I'm just going to extend out some of these lines so I can have just a little bit more fur in here. And I'm just doing them kind of randomly. Just like that. So that it looks a little more furry right there. The last one I'm going to do is the E51. And I'm only going to do it in this area right here. And it's just going to be a smooth back and forth, very, very light touch. Just to get a little bit of that color in there. All right. Now, I'm pretty happy with my moose. He makes me smile. So, I'm going to move on. Oh, you know what we forgot is I'm going to go back with my E41. If I can find it. And we got to finish the insides of the ears. So, I'm going to use my E41 to kind of smooth that out where the pink is. Just because I don't want to leave that harsh look right there. There we go. Now he has soft little pink ears. Next, we're going to do his eyes. So I'm going to start by coloring in that eyeball black. You guys know how much I like to do that. You're going to be able to see the big difference between his nose and his eyes when I do his eyeball. And then we'll color his eyes. We'll probably let them dry a little bit and work on the light bulbs, and then we'll come back to the eyes so we don't bleed any of this black out into our eyes. But I really like the eyes to pop, so this part is really important to me. It's a personal preference. You don't have to do that, but I think it just makes it pop a little bit more, and I really like that. So that's why I do it. Now, I decided you can do these light bulbs any color that you want. But what I want to do is just red and green. I'm going to stick with this card just being red and green. So I'm going to do every other one. But I'm going to alternate the shades of green and red. So I have 3 red, and I need this to be a more not a bright red, but a more like garnet type red. So I'm going to use this on both of these colors as my shadow, and then I will use this one as the highlight on one set of lights, and then this one on the other. So it will alternate the colors. I'm going to do the same thing with these greens. So this will be the shadow, and then I'll work with those 2 and then these 2. So that is the plan. And his eyes are going to be green as well. So, you know, we're sticking with complete red and green tonight. So this is my R59. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this little line in the ones that I want to be red. So like I said, every other one. So I'm going to try to follow this little string, but it's not going to be easy. Green, red, then green, red. A little easy for me because I did it. So green, red, and then we're going to follow it around. That one will be green, this one will be red, and then it goes behind his head and comes back up. This one will be green. There was probably a green one back there, but that's okay. And this one will be red. And then it's going to go down and back up. And that one will be green. This one will be red. Green. This one up here will be red. Coming down, that's green. And then it's going to come here, and this one's going to be red. Green, red. So that gets my base color started out. Hey, Christina. Oh, nice. Gotcha. Okay, so we're going to start first with 56, or actually maybe we'll just open them both and work with them at the same time. So E04, I'm going to start with 56. So on the first one, just going to do one little sweep over it so you can still see that center spot. You see it? Then I'm going to pick up the E04, go to the next one, and do the same thing. And then I'm going to pick this one up. I'm just alternating the colors. Then this one. This one. It's just going to give us a little bit more of a variety of color rather than just the same red and green all the way through them all. It's just the idea that I had. You can do it any way you want. I've done them with all the colors. I've done them with just a few colors. So it's just whatever you're feeling at the moment. And this one. So you can see how quick and easy you can do those little lights. And I'm also going to do them the same thing now with the green. And then we are going to put the glossy accents over them, which are going to make them look a little bit brighter, like, and bubbled like lights normally would be. Okay, so our green, G99. Now we don't have to really pay attention. Just every one that's left, we'll do this with. You just have to try to make sure we don't miss any. You know, every now and then there's one that's side by side is not supposed to be. So all you have to do is tell people, well, that light burned out and I had to replace it with the other color because I didn't have enough leftovers, and nobody will know the difference. If the story's good, it works. I've done them with red, green, yellow, blue, orange, but I wanted them to stick this one's tonight. You both have my checkbook crying, but so worth it. Woohoo! All right, G94 and YG63 are the two colors we're going to alternate this time. So starting with the 94, which is the darker color, and then alternating from there. This one. And then let's do this one since they're side by side. And then this one. And then this one will be the darker color. This one will be the lighter color. And I want to make sure I don't miss any of the ones that are down here. And this one will be the darker one. This one will be the lighter one. So these look a little challenging when you see so many things, but they're just super simple. You don't have to do a whole lot. You could use fluorescent colors on these and they probably would look really cute. Or if you decided not to cut it out like I did because it was a pain, you could also put a glow around the lights to make them look like they're glowing, which is pretty cool too. So no problem with that. So many things to do. Now we need to do the eyes now that they've had a chance to dry. I'm going to put the darkest color by his nose. So I'm just going to put some really deep green down here. We're going to have to round this, so bear with me. I know that's a little challenging for some people. I'm going to go up a little bit here and kind of around the eye. You have to keep that shape, you know, because we're not going to color in the whole thing. So we're just going to go around right now, and then we'll add the lighter color around that. So we have YG63. And we're just going to extend out a little bit more from where we just put that last color, just like this. Pretty simple, not too difficult, but you want to kind of stay the same size on both sides. So just really carefully, you know, make sure you don't get that too much. This looks really dark right here, so I'm going to use this YG63 to kind of lighten that up just a little bit. You can use your markers to work for you, not against you. Okay, so we have to use the white gel pen now before you put the glossy effects. You have to do the white gel pen. So we're going to do the white gel pen, let it dry while we do the ornaments real quick. They're going to be super fast. But I'd like for this white gel pen to kind of dry before we move on. So I want to put just a little bit on these lights, not the ones that are underneath, but the ones that are on top. And when we put the glossy effects on it, I think it's really going to help to have that little white spot on there. So I'm only going to put it on the ones, I'm not going to put it on these ones down here, only on the ones at the top. And it doesn't have to be fancy, just in there somewhere. I think I'll do this one and this one. And then these ones are kind of pointed down, so I'm just going to do like this one and this one. So not all of them, but some of them. I think it's going to make a big difference when we get ready to put the glossy effects. But we can't do that right now because we still got to build the card. And when we do, we don't want to mess up our glossy effects. Glossy effects has to be the very last step. So the tree, of course, is going to be the green, same green colors we used before. It's not a real tree, it's an ornament. So I don't need a whole lot of detail in it. So I'm not going to do a lot, but I am going to do a little bit. So from each section, I'm just going to put these little lines here. This is going to make it look a little bit like a tree. It doesn't have to be fancy, and it doesn't have to have a whole lot, and it doesn't have to be accurate, but as long as it has a little bit of something. This could give you an idea on trees when you color them in a forest or whatever. You could do this technique. I usually do them a little different when they're, you know, real, but for right now, since this is a lighter color, I just kind of go about halfway from where I put that last color and then just extend further. It just kind of gives you a little bit of a design, even though you don't need a whole lot. I just want it to have a little bit of texture in there. We only have 3 colors, so the last one is going to be YG63. So I'm going to go about halfway and fill in the rest of this tree area. I'm going to soften that just a little bit. Just kind of get the rest of this base tree color in there. Again, it's just an ornament. It's not a tree in the forest or anything. At the bottom, I'm going to go from the bottom down just because it makes it a lot easier and I don't have to worry about going outside the lines. I have a little more control in that direction, so that makes me happy. See? Cute, easy, simple. I'm going to grab my E47 for the bottom of the tree trunk. I'm not going to put any lines like it's really a tree or anything. No elaborate details. And then this one is going to be red, so I'm going to grab those same red markers. Going to grab E59, and I'm going to work that right up here close to that little metal part that's usually at the top, although tonight it's going to be brown because, you know, and I think yeah, I think this one will be on this side, and this one will be on this side. So I'm probably going to lay it in this angle. So I'm going to put the dark along this bottom part right here. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but you guys, you get it. R56, again, it's just an ornament. Just going up from where that dark area is, blending out into the top. I am going to go along the top just to get the around the outside since we only have one more color. And I get that this isn't a bright red, but we don't need it to be based on the paper. So I'm just going to kind of go back and forth real quick. I don't have to do a lot of blending on this. Just get the color in there is all that really matters. Soften up any of those lines. I'm going to go up. Just kind of fast there. Get that a little bit blended in there. And now we have one more, this one. And I know it's crazy, but I am going to actually use this E40. I'm going to use the E40s. And I'm going to use E44 for the bottom. So we're going to actually keep this all in the same colors that we used for the whole project. So I normally make this bottom part white and then the top part blue so it looks like the sky and all that, but we're not doing that tonight. I want to try to keep all the same colors in this picture, and I bet they'll look just fine. So I'm just going to extend out from where I put that 44 with my 41. 41 doesn't blend really great with 44, but as long as I can touch this transition spot, if I need to come in with the other one, I can. I want to keep this pretty light up here.
Did you answer Beth's question?
Is the tree and ornaments digital as well, and do they come together? Yes, it is digital as well, and yes, they come together. They're all in the same set, and there's some additional ones in the set as well. So I came back in with my E42 real quick to kind of soften up that little transition area right there, just so it didn't look so strange. It almost looks foggy to me a little bit. But yes, it all comes together. You can size it any way you want. You could even use the ornaments by themselves as part of your Christmas images and such, so it does not have to be, they do not have to be tiny like this. I just needed them tiny for this particular project. Okay, I'm going to zoom out because we got a little bit more to do. We did all of that with just, wait, one more. Just these markers. That's it. All of that. All of that. There we go. All right, we have some paper. We have some die cutting to do. This is the Merry Christmas sentiment I chose. This is Trinity Stamps sentiment. And it does come with the dies that do the shadow effect, but I'm not going to use the shadow effect today. I think it's too overwhelming. So we just need this one, these two words cut out. So I have my little die cut machine. We might as well just do it real quick because it won't take long. I'll just put them right here. Cut them out real quick. Might make a little crazy noise, but I'm sure all of you know what that all sounds like when you die cut. And then I can just move that out of my way. Pretty simple. And the colors I chose were this green for my card base, and I already did my white part on the inside. It's regular standard A2. This one is cut 1/8 of an inch around the corner, so it doesn't have a big border, just a little one. Let's move these aside for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on. It's sweater on the back. It's really cute. This is a paper pad from my Mind's Eye. It's pretty old, I think. I haven't had it very long, but I got it from somebody who probably had it for a very long time. So I think it's an older one. Some of you may already have it because it's so cute. And a lot of us end up with the same crafty supplies sometimes. So I'm just making sure I get it lined up before I press it down the way that I want it to be so that it's not messed up. There we go. And I'm using my soda press to spread that glue and get that good stick on there. Now's where the more fancy part comes. So I chose this ornament paper because I thought it was perfect for what we're doing. And it's going to be the top of my card up here. But then at the bottom, I wanted to have some like ground-ish, but also snow. So what we're going to do is we're going to tear this a couple times. So first layer I'm going to do, this is very thick paper, so give me a second. I'm going to do it like kind of like a little hill. So like this. I have some extra paper if I need to tear some more, but there's one. And then I'm going to tear again. I'm just going to flip it around and tear again, going the other way. I think I want my bigger one on this side, and then I'll go down a little bit more on the other side. And I'll place that underneath so that it looks like it's different layers of snow, if you will. And then even if we wanted to, we could add another piece of this in here just to make it a little higher. So you can make it, you can do it however you want, but just tear the paper and you'll be good. Super cute, easy to do, no problem. And then I'm going to use this. This is my Distress Ink Picket Fence. Okay, I don't use it very often because it's white and it's not oxide, it's ink. Doesn't dry real fast, but I feel like it'll be really useful tonight. So I'm going to take that, and I have this little brush, and I'm just going to kind of brush on some of this white onto, I don't want to cover the whole thing, but I also want it to look like there's snow around. So I'm going to go especially in these areas where I tore it. And then I'm just going to put some around. It probably would look a little more white if I didn't have green already on this brush, but that was my mistake. I'm going to make it a little thicker up here at the top. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the next one. So just adding this white to it. This is going to give me a little bit of a snow look to it. I wish I still had some of that stuff that you heat emboss and it makes it into snow. It's really cool, but I don't have any more. It dried up and I can't. Yeah, it was from Stampin' Up. And now I can't use it because it dried up. That was disappointing. And then this one, I definitely want to do the same thing with, let's see, I really wanted it to be this side, but I tore it the other way. So hold tight. Let me lay these down and see if it looks good the other way. This way. Yeah, I think it's okay. I just need to tear it probably a little bit more. There we go. It'll just give us a little extra mountain on there. Or hill. It's probably not a mountain. For me, in Texas, it's a mountain. But for everyone else, it's probably just a silly little hill. But I think it's enough white to give the impression of snow, which makes me happy. So I'm going to add glue on the back of this one. Right here along the top only. Because now I'm going to stick them together. I have to have them up far enough that it covers any white area. Like I don't want to leave any open spaces in here. Just want to make sure that I get that attached like that. And then for this one, I'm going to add the glue at the bottom so I can attach it. Come on. I left the glue open before the live and now it's being finicky. But we'll be all right now, I think. Is it out of glue? It's got a bubble in there. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna let you guys watch this so you know what I have to do when I have a issue. I just used this pen and it usually clears it pretty quick. But for some reason tonight, it is acting crazy. Did I leave it open way too long? Hold on. Dale, can you? Yeah, there we go. Okay, let me just put a different pen on it, a different topper on it. And I usually just have Dale go clean it out for me because he's real good at that, but I don't want to make you guys wait. Maybe I might have to. Let me just make sure. Yep, it's coming out of here, so it's in the tip. So sometimes I go the other way. I don't usually have this problem, but if there's something stuck in there, there it is. See it? It dried up. This big chunk dried up in there. See it? So once you get that out, it'll work just fine. It doesn't happen very often, but every now and then. Now the cool part is all the glue I have on my fingers. If you just rub them together, it's not Kano. It just rub your hands together and the glue goes away. So you don't have to worry about, that's my favorite part, is you just rub your hands together and the glue just rubs off, which is great when you're working with kids. If you have little ones like I do, Cooper thinks it's awesome. He'll come over, I have glue on my hands, and then I just say, oh, I just rub my hands together with his and it just goes away. It's super easy. So there we go. You can kind of see where they're connected on the back. I'm going to use my little soda press real quick to kind of make sure they're stuck together. And all I really cared about was making sure each of the sides were even. You can put them together any way that you want, you know, as far as the mountains and stuff, but the sides have to match up. Let me grab we don't want to put white all over everything. There we go. Just wipe that desk off. All right, so now we're going to put this paper on first because we want this to be on the underside. And we shouldn't have any more problems with our glue because we got our big glue bubble out. Probably should put some new glue. I ordered glue, so Barely Art Glue should be in the shop very soon. I'm just waiting on them to tell me when I can pick it up. And I need a refill myself, so once I put a little bit more glue in there, it'll probably be all right. It's getting pretty low because I took it with me traveling to Paper Ganza and used it there. Okay, so there we go. Now at the bottom here, I'm just going to leave that same amount of space like I did at the top. So just a little bit. Make sure your sides line up here and here. Once you have that all lined up, I'm just going to flip it over and rub it with my soda press to get a really good hold. It will probably wash a little bit of that ink off because it's not completely dry yet, but I'm okay with that. I'm just, huh? I will. I'm not there yet. Okay. So now we have it put together. You can see a little bit of the snow, and I'm going to go back over it with a few quick little spots on some of the areas that I would like to look up like snow. So I'm just going to hit it like this with the little pouncy, so it adds it but not smooth. And I'm going to do it more right around the areas where I joined them together and the top. And it's okay if it goes on the other paper. You won't really be able to see it on that paper, but it's okay if it goes on there. And then that makes it look a little bit more like snow. Now, while we're waiting for that to dry a little bit, I'm going to pull my die cut off of here. This is the excess paper from when I cut the red one below, so we're just using our scraps. I like using our scraps. I've never used this die before, so it works really great. You know how sometimes you hold your breath and you get ready to cut that out. Sometimes I die cut the words more than once and layer them up so they're thicker and easier to work with, but not tonight because I only had a small piece of paper. I'm going to poke out the little excess pieces with my little poker tool here. You can get these pretty much anywhere if you don't have one, but this one's Trinity Stamps and it has cool jewels in it, so you know, I'm all about the bling. You guys know that well. All about the bling. Now I do want the eye from Christmas right here. So I'm going to put that on here so I don't lose it. And then I'm going to poke out the little pieces from Mary. One here and one here.
Kimber.
Hi, Kimber. Oh, thanks so much for popping in. I'm glad that you popped in. I love bling too. We all love bling.
And if you're adventurous, you can resize the bulb to make it the eye.
What?
If you're adventurous, you can resize with the digital file. You can resize the round Christmas ball to make it the eye.
Oh yeah, you could. You could make you can make these as part of your words, but that's up to you because you can make them as big or as small as you want. So I kind of want him to be sitting approximately right here. He's kind of in front of the mountains. I need to scoot him over just a tad. I want to put one of the ornaments on this side. I think I will do this one. Come on. I think I will do that one. I think I'm going to need my tweezers. Can't seem to hold on to it. Like right there is where I think I want that one. Behind the behind the lights. And then this one, let's see, I want the tree about right here. And we'll put the ornament about right here. So we'll have them lined up together like that, and then he'll sit on top. So now that I know kind of where I want them, I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. So this one will be approximately right there, just kind of winging it. That's kind of how I glue all the time anyway. He'll fit in there just fine at some point. Then we're going to put our tree on there. About right like that. I mean, they're ornaments, so you can put them however you want. Here goes my other one. I want this one to go maybe like that. There we go. And now we have this little guy to put down. Oh yeah, he's gonna look so good. I'm very excited. We don't need to pop him up or anything because we're going to use the glossy effects.
Kimber says the moose is adorable.
Oh, thanks. He's a digital image in the shop. It's pretty easy. You just look for moose if you're searching for it, and you'll see it comes with the ornaments that you can size any way you want. And it comes with a different moose. And then this one comes with and without the ornaments. So if you want to use them other than Christmas, you can. It comes with and without the lights around his head. So you can decide however you want to do that. I probably should have colored the top of that, so I might sneak in there and finish that off. So think, or it might look just fine white, the way it is. But you know, I can't roll like that, so I'm gonna have to go in. This is E43. And I'm just going to touch that area a little bit because that'll just make me feel better, you know. And then we're going to put these words on. I want Christmas on first so I know it fits. I don't want to put the other one in the wrong place. This glue has such a fine tip that I can just touch a few places and it'll stick down and hold the way I want. It dries clear, so if I get it outside the lines or outside the word, it's not going to matter. Once it dries, you won't be able to see it anyway. So it's perfect. I just don't want to touch like his lights. I just want to get this word in here without touching the lights. There we go. Just press that down a little bit. Then I'm going to use this to pick up my eye, the tip of my eye. Put a little bit of glue there. It's excess glue, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, it'll dry clear. And then I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my Mary. The longest part about doing this card would be coloring the moose, so I would probably lay them out in a whole bunch at a time. I have you hooked on Barely Art glue while it's about to be in the shop. I just made my first order today. I'm so excited because I need a refill real bad, and I wanted to buy it from myself. That's funny, I know. All right, put my caps back on these. This is really cute. I like it. I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna rub this top part, and then we're gonna start with the glossy effects. Isn't that really cute? Oh my goodness, so cute. So you could leave it like that, or if you really wanted to, you could take like your black Copic marker and just put a little bit of shadow along this side, like this. And you'd have a little bit of a shadow. See how that works? So you just have to decide, you know, where you want it to be. And then just roll with it. Just don't be shy. Just do what you want. So this is how you can make it look like it has a shadow over it. You just like that. And then it stands out just a little bit more. I think I'm only going to put it on Mary just because it's cute. And then this is glossy accents right here. Super easy to, we don't sell it here, but this one is from Ranger, rangerink.com. I'm going to tap it so that it won't do any bubbles. I don't want bubbles in it. That is for sure. And then I'm going to touch the little Christmas bulbs They're gonna look a little bit big, like I have a whole lot on there. And that's okay. It doesn't, it kind of stays where you put it. So let me show you up close. It stays where you put it. See, it doesn't ooze around. So let me see if I can do this while you guys can watch. So I just kind of lay it over wherever I want it. It'll look a little cloudy at first, but when it dries, it'll be clear. And it stays where you put it. It doesn't ooze around your card, which I really like. If you get it a little bit more in an area than you want, a toothpick will move it or take it off. So you can definitely use that. I got one over here and one over here. And you can go all out. You can do as much as you want. You can do just those, or you can do the eyes too, or, you know, whatever you want. But look at how much more emphasis you get out of those lights when you put this on there. And I just love it. They were the first addictive embellishment you bought. It is addictive, that's for sure. But my problem is I usually stick my finger in it afterwards. So I've learned to do it the very last thing that I do so that I won't do that again. But I still end up doing it. I do want to put a little bit on top of the eye for Christmas. So when it dries, you'll be able to see the red underneath it. But it's really cute. So they'll stay however you put them. I mean, look at that dot I put on the top of the eye. Like, it is a complete circle. Super cute. You do too. You stick your finger in it. Usually you can fix it. You just then have to wait twice as long because now you've messed it up and you have to wait to fix it. But it's okay. It works. And since I put the glossy accents, probably wasn't going to put any embellishments, but I'm so excited about this cover that protected all my embellishments while I was gone that I'm going to show it to you anyway. Oh. Okay, so when this lid is on here, for those of you who weren't here, I just put 2 hair ties around it, and then I threw it in my bag and took it with me, and it didn't move any of the stones out of their pockets. So I love it. Very, very happy. I was going to put some of these little embellishments. They do kind of look like snow, so maybe I'll add a couple of them. So 1, 2, 3. And we'll see how they look and decide if we're going to do any more. These look a little bit like the little dot on top of the eye, so they'll kind of blend in and look really nice. There we go. Let's see. There's another one. Yeah, I really like them. I think I'm going to do a couple more. I could actually do 3 more because I'll have that one to make my odd number. So I think I'm going to put them up here. Just for fun, because I just can't help myself. I have to put bling on there. I'm just bling crazy, I think. Isn't this fun? I mean, so fun. So fun. Just moving them around a little bit. They're all different sizes. These little beads are different sizes, so they're cute. Just like the stuff in our shop comes in 3 sizes. These are not from our shop. These particular ones, I got them at the ton, but they are similar. They're just tinier. And they're fun. I like them. So if you want to visit the shop, go ahead and visit the shop at www.dougdesigns.com. But we have a new release coming on Saturday, so there'll be a lot of new stuff in there. I hope you guys like this.
The coming soon banner is up.
Yep, the coming soon banner is up in the group in case you guys saw it. It's
on
your
the site.
It's your hint. It's also up on the site, so you guys know it's coming soon. So I hope you guys like that. It was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. On Thursday, we'll meet again at 8 Central Time. And we'll make another card. I haven't decided what we're going to do, so I can't tell you that yet. But come join me. There's always a little hint in the description when I let you know I'm live with what we're going to do. The background image that's in the group and on the site is a little bit of sneak peek to let you know what's coming. If you can figure it out, then you're pretty super. If you can't, then you just have to wait till the Friday live, which will probably also be around 8 Central because I don't want to do it on top of the craft roulette. I need to be at craft roulette, and so I'll do my live after craft roulette on Friday with all the new stuff. So come join me, and thank you for being here tonight. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Just send me a PM. Love you guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on Thursday. I miss all of y'all.